Hey everybody, it's the 10th of December, me again. Second video today. I'm probably the first person to say that slavery was wrong and should be condemned at all levels, wherever it happened, wherever it's happening in the world today. And I really don't question anybody that would say that slavery is bad. We can all agree on that. That seems to be a good thing. And, you know, here I am with my freedom shirt on. But what strikes me is the hypocrisy that I see, because I'll see people wanting to tear down or defacing things like even Abraham Lincoln, which has kind of bewildered me a little bit. I saw that recently in the news where they painted over Abraham Lincoln like, didn't he, quote unquote, free the slaves according to most historians? I think so. We had a civil war where a bunch of white people were fighting a bunch of white people. I guess, you know, there were blacks that were involved in that as well. But then I see all the statues in the South, or the people that are against Thomas Jefferson and George Washington, our founding fathers. They probably want to eliminate and remove Mount Rushmore, you know, things along those lines. But if you've seen in the screenshot that I posted up, and that mural is at 525 Ortiz in Sand City, California, you've got, you know, this, you know, the Aztecs up on the wall, and, you know, let's glorify it. But those people slaughtered other human beings, you know. I mean, they held slaves. The Incans, the Mayans, and the Aztecs all kept and held slaves. They engaged in genocide. I mean, they would go after people from other tribes and slaughter them. Bring them up on the top of the pyramid and, you know, cut their heart out and eat it and cannibalize them, and all these beautiful things that, you know, human beings aren't supposed to do, that we should all be condemning. But for some reason, we can glorify it if it's on a mural in Salinas. You know, I guess they have the Mayan calendar that's on an underpass on Alisal Street, or, you know, the Aztec dancers will show up and everybody think that's, you know, wonderful and great. I mean, but these people held slaves. So either we're going to condemn slavery in its entirety, which I think would be a good thing, or you're going to have to stop picking on, you know, one group of people because they held slaves, you know, a couple hundred years ago. But I just don't see how a city goes and puts up a mural like that without thinking about what the history of those folks are. And I've asked somebody that was involved in painting that, and they kind of, they couldn't give me an answer. They couldn't respond to this question of, why is it okay for one group of slaveholders to be glorified and not the other? Is it just because of the color of their skin, or that they benefited in some way, shape, or form? I don't know what it is. But, I mean, I saw Apocalypto, and that was a pretty good representation of what people did back in that time. And I just don't know how you quantify that. And for a municipality like Sand City to allow that, I mean, a lot of great murals went up in Sand City recently, especially the Jimi Hendrix one that's a block or so over. But I just have to question, why is that okay and everything else is bad in the mind of, I guess, leftist? Peace out.